Hey, all you cool cat and kittens. Michael DePrima here of The Michael Show with Michael DePrima. So we're just going to get right into it here. We're going to go to the guys and we are going to talk Tiger King. All right, here we go. Let me unmute these fellas. Let me unmute, but you all still seem to be muted. See if you can unmute yourselves, fellas.
I should be good. Hey, Michael.
Here we go. All right. I gotcha. Yeah, and I got Ham. Here comes Betsy. Oh, Betsy's in. Betsy, I'm seeing your computer screen.
Hold on one sec.
Take your time, buddy. Take your time. All you cool cats and kittens. Oh, man.
Here we go. There he is.
Ham looks ridiculous. All right. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about Tiger King. And the first thing I want to ask about Tiger King, are cats evil? Are cats in general evil? What is it about cats that make people go crazy?
There is a story. Don't cats kind of sit on your chest and try to kind of take the breath out of your...
I heard the same. They kill babies or something like that, right?
Yeah, cats are just killing babies.
No, I thought you're not supposed to have a cat around a baby.
Right, because they'll like take the breath out of them.
Yes, or that might have been a cartoon movie I saw in Disney.
Could have been
sounds about
Tom
right.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Okay, so Egyptians worshipped cats.
No.
Right.
What are some other crazy cat things?
Well, Chinese like to eat cats.
Chinese like to eat cats, apparently.
That's bats. You meant bats. Bats, not cats.
Bats.
Who's the skipper? I guess that's Ham. Ham's the skipper. That's Matt Ham. He's
Well, I mean, I did notice that if we're talking about Tiger King, that there is everybody that was into the tigers were also way into guns. And I don't know why that is. It seemed like every person that had a big cat also
had a gun
into like shooting shit up. Yeah.
Yeah. And not just for protection, they were into guns.
Oh no, yeah, like way into guns, right?
Yeah, way. Yeah, over the top. Yeah.
I believe it.
All right. So, all right, when you turned it on and you saw, like, you heard about it, Tiger King, what did everyone think when they first saw Joe Exotic?
America. I mean, mullet, gay, guns, drugs, polygamy. I mean, it's like every vice you can think of that it was great. It was awesome. It was a complete train wreck.
It was
Everything
a complete train wreck.
Enjoyable shock. Even when he went to his closet and he had like 8 different coats with the same tassels on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, when he was selecting and he goes, oh, this is the one for his date. I think 80 was going on. Yeah. And like, why did he pick that one? That was his date fringe, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
And after all those years, he never changed his haircut because that was his look.
Yeah.
So like they touched on it. They talked
he made fun of himself though.
Yeah, he made fun of himself nonstop.
Which was weird, but he kept it, which was kind of odd.
So they did make a point about like narcissism and people wanted to take pictures of themselves with the cats.
Right.
And like, so Steve, in the pre-show, you said, is it that cats are evil or is it that evil is attracted to cats?
Well, I didn't say
maybe
evil,
not evil.
Crazy. Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. You always have like the crazy cat lady, right? So are crazy people attracted to cats or are cats attracted to crazy people was where I was,
crazy cat lady, like they talk about all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Right.
This is a whole nother level though. I mean, these aren't just, we're talking about cats. We're talking about having a wild animal on your property, living in your house that can kill you.
That can most likely. Yeah.
That's got to be the allure of it though, right? I mean, the fact that whatever, like a pit bull or, like this thing could kill you if it wanted to, then
at any moment.
I guess. But I mean, did you see some of the guys like you've had like Mike Tyson and Shaquille O'Neal? All those guys were into tigers. I think Shaq was in it, right? Wasn't he in the documentary?
Right. Yeah.
Briefly.
I was in it.
Shaq came out and like said, I was just there visiting.
Right.
Yeah, he did the PR thing.
Yeah. But I think for that Joe Exotica, that hairy
Exotica.
Cat, I mean,
I like Exotica better. That's even better.
That.
What was his name? Exotic?
Joe Exotic.
Yeah, Exotic.
Joe Exotic.
He kept that hair. It was kind of like a mane, like a lion's mane. You know what I mean? I think that was sort of his, everything about him was about him. Like, he tried to make it about the cats, but he was into himself. He was a complete narcissist.
All right, so someone on the comments mentions like his music videos. Like, those music videos are awesome. Not him singing. Not him singing.
Oh, it's not.
Really? That wasn't him singing?
Wasn't him singing.
Wow.
He didn't write the music either. It was Vince Johnson and Danny Clinton. It was like called the Clinton Johnson Band. Yeah, it wasn't even him singing.
The worst narcissist even still listen to himself while driving in a car?
Sang the song. And I watched that clip over again.
Even like the worst narcissist couldn't listen to themselves. Maybe Jer could. I don't know.
All right, so he was a fake.
Ever wonder why so many people say they want to learn guitar, but very few actually learn to play? It's simple. Too many people try to learn with YouTube videos, and guess what?
Just shut that off. I was going to try and see if I could get any of his videos up for us.
Yeah. Give it a shot.
Do the one you have, Steve. If you see it, they consistently had him standing on the front of a pickup truck, on the hood of a pickup truck with these
Cubs?
Feminine boots that he was wearing. And it was brutal. I remember every time I looked at it, like I cringed.
So he was doing a bad thing, right? We all agree he was doing a very bad thing.
I do, but I will say this. I think when they show some early footage of him, I think he started off.
Exactly. I think he started out for the right reasons.
Yeah, and then he took a really bad turn. Somewhere he took a really bad turn.
When it became about money.
Yeah, but it was nothing about the cats. Like, I believe he ended up killing those cats, the last 5 or whatever it was that they were talking about. I believe he did that. That was all. He was way past caring about the cats. In the beginning, he did. Yes. But I don't think he did at the end. Yeah.
Oh, in the end,
I'm not the tiger.
This is it. Do it, Steve. It's a little hot, Steve.
Let them run the jungle. Roam their land.
There we go.
Send it through.
All right, so let's see here.
Because he probably went off the deep end as soon as he wanted to kill Carol.
Yes.
That's it.
That's when he really started. Yeah, there it is. He's not even singing.
That's
Carol
not
Baskin,
not singing.
not even singing.
Well, he has this high-pitched voice. I knew that couldn't have been his voice.
No. Not at all.
All
right, so let's go.
There it is. That's the shot.
Yep. With sky replacement. All right. Let's talk about Carol Baskin. She was just as sick as the rest of those guys.
Completely.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, she probably started out the same way as him. She probably was doing it for the animals, and then it just became about money and power and killing her husbands.
And she had the money to do it. She had the money to spend to buy politicians, like talk politicians into things. She had that much money.
Yeah.
What was with the guy that the guy that's currently married to her now? Like, what's that guy's
dude? Why, if you're a documentary filmmaker, why do you not ask that guy on camera? Are you afraid of you?
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking. You got to sleep with one eye open.
That should be in episode 3.
Yeah. So wait. So that poses the question: do all 3 of you guys believe she killed her husband?
I do.
Oh, yeah. For sure, absolutely.
I'll tell you exactly when I think I knew. I knew what, beyond a shadow of a doubt, when she said on the news footage, "Well, he has dementia." As soon as she tried to push that narrative, I was like, "Oh, millionaire." So the dude became a millionaire through used cars and real estate.
Okay, right.
So that's how he made his millions, apparently, from my research. So,
so I'm sorry. How did he make his money?
Real estate and used cars.
Used cars.
Yeah. Used cars. Yeah.
So I think when she said he had dementia, I was like, oh. All right. What do you think he was referring to, her husband, Don, when he said, if I can pull this off, it'll be the slickest thing I ever did.
Oh, I think he was trying to get rid of, at that point, he was trying to separate himself from his wife with trying to hide his money, basically.
Yeah.
Right? That's what something to do with that.
Something to do with that.
I thought he was leaving. I thought that was him, like, heading down to Costa Rica, faking
with his
own
money.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think faking his own death? You think he meant faking his own death?
That's what I think he meant. I don't know whether or not he did. But
so do you think he's alive?
And then she killed him.
Yeah.
He was going to split. And she's like, no, you're not doing that. Put sardine oil on him. And then made it look like you're
some of the memes are so amazing. Oh, a question I had. How did Joe Exotic get her diary?
Yes, that's a great question.
Was that her real diary, or was he making this up?
And it wasn't an online diary, right? You're talking. It was like he had paper.
Yeah, paper. Well, maybe he printed it out, but yeah, I don't think he had paper.
Yeah, maybe she has like a what were those, Mamba or Jambas or something, and did like her online diary, her blog.
You know what was her tell though? Like if you watched, every time they asked her a question, she would do this weird laugh. That's when you knew she was lying.
My wife said the same thing. She's like, he laughs at the most, hey, so my husband was killed. Ha, 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 ha. Like every time it was the more off and sad and violent the phrase was, the more she laughed.
Yes.
It was bizarre.
It was almost creepy. She'd be like, oh, sure, I just killed my husband and then I fed him to the tigers.
Yeah, like throw sardine oil on him or something.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, she was creepy. She was the creepiest one. I would rather be in a cell with Joe Dirt than her. That was Joe Exotic.
No, 100%.
So you've called him. Hold on. So you've called him Joe Exotica, Joe Dirt. I love it.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, the casting for Carol in Joe's music video was perfect.
What?
Absolutely.
Where'd he get her?
I don't know. I don't know if he put out a casting call, but when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, there's Carol." I was like, "No, that's not Carol."
That might be the most impressive part of that whole documentary. I looked at that. I had to stop it and look back. I go, "Wait a minute, what am I looking at?"
It was the perfect lookalike.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's where he spent all his money, I guess.
And
digging up a
speaking of lookalike, do we point out that Matt's got a spot on Joe Exotic outfit, Matt? I mean, can you give us a tour of that outfit? What do you got going on?
Well, I didn't have any floral print or tiger print anything, but I had something pink. I wanted it to look like the men that he married because they had
yes.
Nice.
Matt, can you smile more with your teeth?
Big at my
Smile more with your teeth, Matt.
I like it without the hat.
Smile more with your teeth. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I should have blacked him out.
Yeah.
Somebody here should have been the guy with his shirt off with the tattoos.
Yeah.
First off, that was the most impressive part. Like the producers got him, and maybe it wasn't hard. Get him to do the interview with the shirt off. I mean, genius.
It was. So wait. Let's get into that. How, Mike? What is the deal with those young dudes who weren't gay, and later on they admit they weren't gay?
I think it's addiction.
Oh my gosh, it was just so creepy.
I'm not gonna over speculate, but I think they come from broken homes, traumatized homes, and they just have addiction. That's a total judgment speculation. Shouldn't even be saying that, but clearly they were not gay.
He did buy them a few pickup trucks though.
Yeah.
So that could turn you, I guess.
Yeah.
They did some pretty gay stuff. I mean, just can't say I'm not gay after you get out of bed with a guy. I mean, there's something there.
I was just gonna say that. I think once you cross that line, you are what you are. Not there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying you are what you are.
Not there's anything wrong with that. Not there's anything wrong with that.
You get a one-time pass if somebody offers you like $1 million. You get one.
After that.
But you're saying an F-150 is not worth it. So you're going to hold out for the $1 million? Is that what you're doing?
Well, it depends if you're a top or a bottom. It depends.
Or it could be an F-350. You know, get the dually. Could be nice.
All right. Who burned down the studio?
Joe did.
Joe did.
Absolutely.
100%?
Hands down.
You think 100%?
100%.
I think you don't think the producer
had insurance on that stuff.
No, the producer. Well, now Matt, as a media guy, media wrangler, I'm sure you've done that a few times in your life. No backups, nothing.
Yeah,
just originals and blew it all up.
Yeah, if
but
he
what,
did it,
what
he
were
would
they
have
shooting on? It looked like they were shooting on mini DV, like on tape or something.
Okay, but that was his home video. All the stuff we saw was Joe's home video.
Right. It was on. Yeah, that wasn't what
that
we were
wasn't
watching.
studio footage.
No, because it was gone. It got burnt up in the
gone.
fire. I say he was shooting on P2.
Probably early in 2005, definitely. Or 2006, I think P2 was.
It could have been tape, and he couldn't really back it up too easily, you know?
True.
Yeah. And then it went so far. All right, so that guy. Now, in my opinion, that totally could have been a reality show, a scripted reality show like you see all this other stuff.
Sure.
Why didn't it get picked up?
Oh, because of the producer, though. I mean, like
I think so.
If Betsy, I bet Betsy had that, he would have got it picked up. I didn't think that Kirkman was that bright. He's not that bright of a guy.
But I also think he didn't. If he didn't have the footage, what did he have to sell it? I mean, although I would imagine at some point he would have cut a trailer together, had a little 2-minute, like
Dude, 2 years into that production, you could sell that. You have to bring in a production company.
That is true. Like why? So he has all these camera masters, and they're gone, and he has no other footage. Yeah. Like he didn't edit anything.
No. Yeah. So I think because he made Joe sign that Rick Kirkman or whatever his name was, owned the entire show. So I think he owned the whole show. He wasn't going to go to a production company to be like, hey, can you produce this for me? You take a cut. He's
got to get some kind of distribution, though. He's got to take it out to a network.
He wanted it all to himself, and he thought, I'll get up the gumption to cut together something, and he just never did. But he said so he's had problems with addiction as well. He did a separate interview about that. So, maybe that's your answer too.
Yeah. I think he got up to that place, and I think he was drinking and goofing around up there too. I don't think, I think he was trying to do something to make money, but at some point he went off the rails up there too in that cat farm.
All right. Question. What, Betsy?
No, I'm just, it's such a bizarre, I'm trying to put myself in that guy's position, and you couldn't make this stuff up. I mean, obviously it's a gold mine, but then to just let it all go. And what's that?
That's why I believe all of it. Like I watch something like this, I'm thinking it's got to be fake, but it's so far, nobody is that creative. Not like anybody could have written something.
Oh yeah. No, you can't make that shit up.
That much farther and farther and farther. Like it's not going to end. It's going to get more ludicrous. It's just insane. I agree. Season 2, I don't know what else you could do.
Right.
How do you do a season 2?
Dude, that girl lost her arm. She lost her hand.
And went back to work
5 days later.
Yeah, that was the craziest part.
Unbelievable.
I didn't know that world existed. Like once you're watching the Joe Exotic part, and then you start watching about Carl Baskin, but then there's Dr. Whatever.
Ankle.
Yeah. And then there was a couple of other people in there too. There's this whole world of people who own wild cats and have like
and that doc guy had like these weird chicks that was a lot of there was a lot of slap and tickle going on with that guy and all these women, and it was a lot of weird stuff.
It's power. The cats brought him power. All right, in Hollywood, the movie The Fame brings you power. In that world, the cats bring you power.
I guess. Right. And you know what also was crazy is that, I mean, I can remember car trips as a kid. We would drive down to Florida and you would see these things on the roadside. But I didn't think, what surprised me is that people actually showed up and they had crowds there, like big crowds of people watching.
He was making money.
Exactly.
But he was making money from selling
$5 grand? Yeah, $5 grand to pet it. After he kind of got these tigers, when they aged out of the petting thing, he would make $5 grand a tiger, he said.
Yeah.
Or gas them.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I guess that once they're not useful anymore.
So the other crazy guy, I wouldn't even talk about him yet, but is the guy who was the swinger with his wife who took over Joe Exotic's place. What was his name?
With the band.
Is it Jeff? Or he had the Affliction T-shirts and stuff?
Yes.
Oh, man.
What was his name?
Character.
That's his best quote was, it takes pussy to get pussy.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, he was a whole nother character. You could have just followed him as a story. He was so interesting, too. You're like, and he was a swindler, dude. Total swindler.
He's like the definition of a douchebag.
Yes, exactly. You picked up on it right away. You're like, this guy is such a jerk.
All right. moving on to the next question. Did Travis kill himself intentionally, or was he just so high, didn't know the gun was loaded? And
I think Travis was just a dumbass and just, pulled. Well, who was that? Wasn't there who was an actor? There was an actor that was playing like
Russian roulette.
No, yeah, it was some actor that was playing. Who's the guy? The kung fu guy?
Yes.
Bruce Lee.
Oh, Bruce
yeah. Bruce Lee. Yeah, didn't he like shoot him? Like he thought he had blanks and he shot himself.
I think that
just being dumb.
That was a Hollywood mishap, though. It was supposed to be loaded with blanks, and it wasn't, or something.
But still, you point a gun to your head, like
never,
you just
yeah.
All right, Jeremiah Rouse says that Jeff was the shadiest one of them all. Jeff
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. He was a con man, straight up.
He was a vulture. Like he saw all this turmoil, and then he found an opportunity to strike. And then he had that business relationship with that third guy that had another park, and he soured that relationship too. So this guy is bad news.
How did the Scarface drug lord guy? How does he still have money after being in jail? Like the dude lives on a compound in like Miami or something.
Yeah, that was a whole nother twist too.
Dude, and he only let them in for that short period of time, but that probably could have been its whole other thing if they let him explore that.
Yeah. There's probably 5 documentaries inside that one documentary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's what the next ones probably will be. They'll grab somebody else and follow them.
Who was and the guy which I think is the shot of the entire documentary is the fat guy on the jet ski. I mean, I couldn't find a better. That shot is perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But
that guy, the life preserver is too small, and he thinks he looks so cool.
Yeah, and that weird mushroom ass haircut he had, or whatever. I was like, what is this dude steal? And he owns some like strip clubs or something like that.
Yeah,
and he was shady.
He's in that empty office space with a bunch of toys.
Yeah,
and it's an unmarked building. What is he doing in there? Is it an eBay store?
That's his front, probably. That's his front.
Yeah, that's who was. And then he told on everybody he was a rat. He ratted everybody.
Okay, so you know why this was not. I'm not going to say it was a disappointment because it wasn't a disappointment, but like, there's no honor among those criminals. Yes, there we go.
There it is.
I mean, look at this guy.
That is fantastic.
That is like beautiful.
Look at him.
America, baby.
Look at that.
Whose idea was it to go on the jet ski? Was it his idea, or was it the producer of the reality of the documentary?
I think it was the producer.
Jet ski? You want to ride a jet ski?
Yeah.
A jet ski? I'll ride a jet ski. All right, put this on. Put these glasses, and then as you go past the camera, lift the glasses up like this.
Yeah.
That's great.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no honor among criminals. Like they were like, oh, I might not go to jail. Yeah, okay, here's what happened.
Yes, yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they weren't like the mafia. They'd turn and run. They drop a dime on anybody.
Everyone ratted. And then as soon as Joe went to jail, Joe ratted on the people who he looked up to. During the interviews, he was like, oh, I look up to Bhagavan. Like, I look up to whatever his name was. And like, he just, boom, flipped on him, turned on him.
Those guys, they all sang like fish.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy, they also had his campaign manager. How about that guy?
Oh, smartest guy. Smartest guy in the whole documentary.
He was the one that witnessed Travis.
Saw.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But did you hear though? He was like a manager at the Walmart, but he knew more about politics than Joe, so Joe made him the campaign manager.
I think he was the manager of the ammo department at department at Walmart. Yeah.
So he was in there like every day buying ammo.
Yeah.
Buying in bulk.
Carol Baskin.
So do you guys think
that's right?
It's great.
As successful, would it be this successful if the coronavirus wasn't happening? Like if this happened,
yes, but not as much.
Ago.
Yes, but not as much. It would. It's a ridiculous story. It's the most ridiculous story I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, it's out there. It's out there. Because I thought "Don't Fuck with Cats" was pretty good too, but
that was really good.
But it didn't take off as much as this.
No, this is just so like I couldn't put it.
You know
down
what though?
Like
Yeah, if "Don't F with Cats" came out now during this, I think things would be crazier.
Yeah,
because it's cats. Because it's cats.
But you had one crazy character in that documentary, Tiger King. True. Everyone was batshit nuts.
Yeah,
everybody.
True.
Every person.
There wasn't a normal person.
And they stretched it out to 7 episodes.
Yeah. But every time they introduced a new character, even the mom of the kid who he married and died, she was nuts. You know, like everybody was. Everybody was crazy.
Love it. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right,
Oklahoma.
And
that's
Florida.
It, man.
And there's Oklahoma, there's Florida. I think that was it.
All the winter states. Perfect. Every one of them.
Hey, I like Oklahoma. We go to Tulsa sometimes.
We go to Tulsa, yeah.
I enjoy Tulsa.
Tulsa's good.
All right. So Joe is in prison, and one of the most recent things that I saw is he asked President Trump for.
I mean, if that is not, I mean, I don't want to get into politics, but if that is not the most, that would be the cherry on the top of his presidency. He could hang his hat on that. When they build the library, when they build the Trump library, and it's got a couple pamphlets on the shelf, they'll have a picture of him, like, you know, shaking hands as he's getting out of jail. That'll be his big.
I give it 50-50. 50-50 shot Trump cards.
I think it'll happen. I absolutely.
No,
it's going to be the Joe Exotic National Zoo.
Yeah.
Mark my word.
I think he's going to do it because he just wants to piss everybody else off. Because nobody wants him to do it, and he'll do it. Just for that reason.
Just for that. Just to make a splash.
Spite store.
Spite store. Spite store. All right. The husbands and the wives. What is it? Why can they get away with that with other people? Is it the cats?
It's just typical cult scenario. Just
but
washing their brains.
Joe Exotic should not have had a cult, and he technically had a cult.
Yeah.
No one would follow Joe Exotic into the wild beyond. No one would drink the Kool-Aid for Joe Exotic, but they stayed for the cats.
The cats and the shit trailers with no air conditioning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's something about cats.
Yeah.
I think it's cult. You know, it's like the Manson family. It's they're a bunch of weirdos, but they're a family.
Drugs. I mean, for Joe Exotic, it's like, all right, degenerates, give them all the drugs they want, and then they're fucked up all the time. And okay, I got to work with tigers. That's cool.
Yeah,
it's probably like it's all the moons aligned perfectly. It's addiction, it's daddy issues,
lack of education. Someone just said lack of education.
Guy, Joe Exotic's right hand man, not his right hand man, but like the guy with the long blonde hair, not the guy with the leg.
The guy smoking a cigarette in a room of gas cans.
Yes, him exactly. Yeah. He was a perfect example of the type of person that those cults attracted. Like, he had been a drug abuse, he was like whacked out on drugs, had nowhere else to go. So he just took these people in that had nothing. You know what I mean? And I guess you just stay there. I mean, if you love the cat, just stay.
Right.
Running out of time.
We're
going to get on. We'll jump to the next one.
Go ahead.
You want to jump to the next one?
Good. I can get a beer then, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do we keep going till this stops, or?
Yeah, let's keep going till this stops. You guys can get a beer. I'll keep everyone occupied for a little bit.
Good deal. All right.
Keep going until we get kicked out.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So I got some other questions. I'll go back because I'm just getting the questions in. Lauren texted them to me since I'm doing this thing. Okay. Jess Cosentino says the bad turn was called meth. So where did they take a bad turn? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For Joe Exotic, yes. Maybe it wasn't the cats for Joe Exotic. It was the drugs.
Right.
For Bhagavan, it was his charisma, his charisma and personality, maybe.
Yeah.
And the cat mixed with the cat. Like he trained under like a shaman or something, right?
Yeah.
Like he learned the Kavorka.
But he lured him and the guy Jeff lured women in.
Yes.
Like, young pretty girls because they wanted to play with little tigers. You know what I mean? It's weird. And then he kept them. That Bhagavan guy kept women there. Bizarre. And then they married him or slept with him or did whatever.
Is Joe Exotic's superpower training all these cats, or being able to identify men and women that are susceptible to fall under his power, right? That maybe he doesn't do anything special, but he can spot that defect and latch onto it. I don't know.
He went to that one scene when he went to that gas station and there was a woman there and he was like offering her money and a job and she's like, "Oh my God, great! I have nothing else. Thank you." That's what he's looking for.
Yeah, he had some charisma, that's for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just like in the old days when the pimps would go down to 42nd Street and go to the Port Authority and pick up little. You could spot them a mile away, pick them up, and bring them into their house, and then
But isn't that what Bhagavan was doing? Wasn't he kind of doing that?
Yeah,
right. Doing that. Like he was doing that too. Joe Exotic was doing that. Bhagavan was doing that.
Yeah.
And there was definitely a commonality between all those.
All right, so with Carol,
the entire support staff seemed to be ex-cons.
Yeah.
So with Carol, I think it was that she had money to actually pay people, but she was using volunteers.
There were volunteers
in step level, treating the cats in a worse way than I think Joe Exotic was.
But listen, she was just attracting a different set of people. It was like lonely housefrau moms or whatever. That's what I mean. It's just a different demographic, but she was doing the same thing they were.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Doc Antle. I keep calling him Bhagavan.
That's it.
It's Doc
you keep calling him Ankle.
Ankle.
What do we get into? So what do you guys want to get into? I mean, there's 4 of us. We can each like start our own harems and stuff. Like, what do you think we can
do? Looking like that, Matt, you're definitely going to win.
I got one wife I can't deal with. I don't want 3 more.
I don't want to disappoint 3 women.
All right, Tiger.
That's right.
All right, we're going to go away for a second. I'm going to start the other meeting. Then we're going to talk about Tiger Shark. Tiger Shark.
The best.
All right, Tommy, get ready.
All right. They're going to be right back.
All right, we'll be right back.
I'll end this meeting. Meeting has been ended. And we're going to start up a new meeting. And we're going to get these guys back talking about the Tiger Shark, which I've been confusing Tiger King with this whole week. I've been like, "Hey, Lauren, you want to watch Tiger King?" She's been like, "I don't." She's like, "You mean Tiger?" I was like, "You want to watch Tiger Shark?" She's like, "You mean Tiger King?" I'm like, "Oh, yes, but we want to tell the story about Tiger Shark on the episode." All right, Steve's back.
I'm back.
All right, Steve's back. That was quick.
Tiger Shark.
Yes. Oh, man, Tiger Shark.
I've been doing these stupid conferences for like the past 2 weeks. Getting pretty quick with Zoom and and all that fun stuff.
Tommy's in.
I'm back.
All right. Ham is going to come in, but I don't think Ham was there. I wasn't there either, but you two were there.
Yes.
We were in a telecommunications, doing a telecommunications webcast. So for a lot of webcasts that we do, we travel and we, a lot of the places, corporate buildings that we go to, they don't have an auditorium or an event space. So we usually have to do these shows in the cafeteria. So this show that we were doing was in a cafeteria in Alpharetta, Georgia, guys.
Cary, I believe.
Oh, Cary, yes. North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Yes. He is the Tiger King.
That is awesome. Yeah. You're like, his first husband.
Man. This is amazing.
How come you're not drinking Natty Lights or something?
Yeah. And
you're too highfalutin to be the top.
What is everyone drinking? What is everyone drinking?
This is a Glitter Parts strawberry beer.
Drinking a High Life?
Yeah, I'm drinking light beer. I've been sitting inside too long.
It's Corona.
Hey, it's very apropos.
Yeah.
And
that's the gayest beer I could find. So.
Lagavulin Offerman edition. The Nick Offerman one.
Got my own hair.
Is that Carol Baskin?
Carol Baskin.
It's Carol Baskin.
Did she glue all that chest hair on individually, or?
No, she grows it herself.
Took it from the back, put it on the front.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Emily.
So we're going to talk about Tiger Shark.
Yep.
Is what you're So I mean, you want me to set this up?
Yeah,
I mean, Tom actually worked with the guy.
Yeah, you set it up, though, Steve.
All right, so Cary, North Carolina, summer, or it was warm. I remember it being warm.
It was Mother's Day. That's what it was. We went down.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So very warm. We hired a couple local crew, a couple camera op/grip guys, and an A2. Tom was the A1 on the show. And we had pushed all the gear in the day before. So we had all the gear there. We unloaded. And so the next day passes 8 a.m. We all show up, gear's on the floor, meet the locals, and we start divvying up work. And John, I don't want to say names. This gentleman, a larger guy.
The A2.
And so he was the A2, and I introduced him to Tom. Tom's like, okay. Tom says, just crack the cases. We'll start laying cables out.
So the A2 is the audio 2, and the audio 2 helps out the A1 audio 1. So
he would be like, so the main audio person was Tom, and then his assistant or A2 would have been this guy. So Tom had asked him to, crack the case, open the cup, take out some microphone cables or speaker cables, and just start laying them out.
Yes.
And we knew we were in trouble when he couldn't figure out how to open up the road case. He was trying to open it from the hinge side. So you have a side, and it's like a suitcase. You open it up. Well, if you spun it around and tried to open it from the hinge side, you'd have some problems. And that's when we first started to get a hint that we may be in trouble. And I think the line was, "Hey, brother, what's the secret to opening up these cases, brother?"
Yes.
Because he kind of talked like Hulk Hogan. Brother was started and ended every sentence.
And what was the secret to opening the cases?
Just don't open it from the hinge side. He was actually trying to open it from there. He thought there was a special lock or system, and Tom looked at me and spun the case around, and So immediately I pull, "Hey, Tom, let me talk to you for a sec." I pull aside, I'm like, "All right, I'm going to fire this guy right now."
Yes,
He's like, no, don't fire him. Don't fire him. I'm like, "I'll get another guy in. I can tell where this is going. We'll pay him for the day, and we'll just get out of this." But Tom, to his credit, and I appreciate it, I think, wanted to just see how deep this chasm went. It was great, and I'm glad he did, because the story is not even better. So I set it up so you can take it from there.
It made the whole weekend. All right, so just to expand a little on what Steve said, when he was the first thing he did exactly was I just told him to open a case. So not only did he go to open the case from the wrong side, but he pulled up a chair. I've never seen anyone do this. But so we have, I don't know.
I forgot about that. He did everything sitting down. I forgot about that. Everything was in a chair. Yes.
And right away, and listen, I'm not knocking him, but just to set him up, Steve's right. The guy weighed he could have weighed 400 pounds. I don't know. You can't. And he says to me, "All right, brother, let me just tell you something." He said, he goes, I'm not real good physically. He goes, "I can't really walk, run, jog, stand, or breathe." And he said, "I got a bad heart, and I don't really know that much about audio, but I can help you with anything you want."
But what do you want me to do? How can I help?
I basically just looked at him and I go, "And you're the A2, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "But I can't lift anything and I can't really do anything."
So the A2's main responsibilities are miking people up and helping you set stuff up.
And also he said, "All right, well, you know what? Why don't you tape cables down? You can't, we have it's called gaffers tape. I don't have any. We have black gaffers tape. It's tape that easily comes up. You tape your cables down, and I don't, brother. I can't bend over and do taping down, brother. I can't do that.
That's right. The other thing you couldn't do was bend over. And there was a list of stuff I had never heard out of anyone's mouth that was working before. So eventually, well, you know what? At one point, before I even conferred with me and Steve, I was giving Steve looks, and he was looking back at me, and he knew. But before we even talked, at one point, I said to him, "Well, maybe." I walked over to Steve and I said, "Do you want him to come help you?" And Steve was busy working. He had a lot of stuff he had to do physically, and he was doing like building these signs or whatever you have to build, these backdrops or something. And Steve goes, "I don't want him." Steve goes, "I don't want him. Keep him over there." I go, "All right." So I knew he wasn't going to help anybody else. So finally, at one point I just said, "All right, let me lay out the cable." I said, "You can plug in the other end," because I didn't know what else to do. I go, "You can physically just plug the end in." And turns out he goes behind this curtain to plug it in. I showed him where, and I walked away for a second. He came back out and like wrapped in cables that had just ripped out of all of these, like an amplifier that we had. He ripped all the cables out that I had already put in. So then I knew that he couldn't do anything physical. So I just said, okay, go sit in a chair and I'll find something for you. So I ended up just giving him, they were these lapel microphones that go on. I said, take him out of the case and just lay him straight on the table. And he was able to do that. That was all he could do, was sit at the table and just lay stuff out straight.
So why was he there?
So Fiedler caught a lot of shit for this, but it's not his fault.
Right. It's not Matt's fault. Matt, if you're watching, we don't blame you.
Yeah. So, Matt just hired a crew, and it turned out that this crew, most of the other guys were all good. You don't know what you're going to get. You go to other cities, you got to hire. This
we're
crew.
New Jersey based.
Yeah, exactly. So
and they're North Carolina.
What turned out was that one of the camera guys who was good, I believe he was a pretty good worker or whatever. He had suggested, he said, "Oh, I got an A2 for you," when he was talking to whoever. And they said, "All right, throw him on the crew. We need an A2," right? So we brought this guy on, and it turns out that this guy that we're talking about, the guy who couldn't do anything, was his brother-in-law. That's what I think the relationship ended up being. Is that right, Steve? Something like that.
Well, what we our director of photography at the time was the one. Oh, yeah. that and I guess it's okay. Yeah, Pat James was our camera guy, director of photography, and he started to notice that this guy was just terrible, and he did notice the relationship he had with the camera guy, because Tommy would ask him, all right, open up this case or lay this down, and then he would see the guy, the A2 guy. We're calling him Tiger Shark. He would then walk over to the camera guy and then ask, I guess, kind of say, all right, I guess figure out what Tom had just asked him to do.
Right.
So we always saw him talk to the camera guy, and Pat said, he says, well, this guy, they must be related in some way, and why would he bring somebody that doesn't know what he's doing? And we all said as a group, Glenn was there as well. We all said, Pat, don't say anything until the job's done, because you don't want to piss this guy off, because we need him to at least,
you don't want to just walk off.
We don't want the whole crew to walk off.
We don't want the whole crew to walk off and piss everybody off.
Yeah, what's done is done. Yeah.
Right. So we just all said, we'll just grin and bear it and get through the job. Well, not even an hour later, I think, just as the day's over, Pat's like, what's up with this A2? The guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And then that's when we come to find, oh, you mean my brother-in-law? And we're like, ooh. And then everything took a turn to the worst.
Yeah, he came up to me and got in my face. It was kind of like he literally.
Oh, he did. He came up to you.
Oh yeah, he came at me a little bit. He said and we knew this was going to happen. Steve and I discussed that this would probably happen. So, and Pat knew it too, but Pat told him
did it anyway.
He did it anyway. And I'm doing something, and all of a sudden this guy, I could see him coming fast at me, and he sort of just gets in my face a little. And he goes, "What's the problem? You got a problem with it?" He goes, "You got a problem with?" I don't want to say his name, but say A2. He goes, "You got a problem with him?" I said, "Whoa. Number one, back up." But number two, I said, "I don't have a problem." Did I say I didn't say I had a problem? Because your camera guy's saying that he's worthless and he doesn't do anything. I go, well, that's all true. I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like,
I don't know what he's talking about.
I said, but nothing. Yeah. I'm like, but he's fine. He's gonna stand the job, and there's no problem. I'm like, it's probably best if you go back and do your job. He'll do his job. I'll do my job, and we all just leave it alone. And that was kind of how we just sort of left it. But it got awkward. It got real awkward.
Well, it got really awkward, because then that was the setup day. Then the show day. I'm trying to think if they were there for the unload. I feel like he was there for 3 days.
Yeah, it might have been. It felt
I don't know. It maybe just felt that way. But anyway, on the last day, we usually by then we're all set up. We've done our tests, and then the actual presenters, talents, the people that are going to be on camera show up. Which in this case, the client happened to be a female. He's up on the stage, this guy, and
God knows why. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is day. I think it was 3 days. It was day 3. Same shirt, same T-shirt, same pants. He wore the same, and sweating profusely, just wet and moist all the time.
And he's
setting up on stage. Then starts commenting.
Is like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, he smells.
Why did he have his shirt off?
Yeah, he smells just like Ham looks right now.
And then he started. He said he looked at our client, kind of gave her a look over, up to down. He goes, You got really, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm yelling into the intercom. Get him off the stage! Get him off the stage!
You got really bad shoes.
Steve goes, get him the fuck. You said to me, you go, get him the fuck off.
So Glenn, I think it was Glenn or you, Tommy.
I got him off.
The room where all the dead cases are, the empty cases.
Yeah.
They need to be watched. So grab a chair and just babysit the. So he sat in a room for 10 hours or 8 hours, and sat in a room with empty cases because he had to watch him.
Yeah,
we just wanted to get away from everybody. He was a maniac.
Yeah. Steve had to get him out of the room. I mean, we ever work with, period. Now, the final part of that is the last day, Steve, tell him what, because I think Glenn came up with a job for him finally after 3 or 4 days.
Glenn, so then the job's over. Thank goodness we didn't get fired. The job went off without a hitch. The dead cases were still there. So good, he did a good job. We start to then what we call strike or break down. We start taking everything apart, putting it back into cases. Of course, he can't do any of that. Can't lift, can't, bend down. So Glenn got a stool for him and put him in the freight elevator. And we said, you open the door and push the buttons. And he just sat. He goes, he was so excited. He had an actual, we gave him like a job with some kind of, responsibility. So he sat in and immediately got the elevator stuck between two floors. Immediately. First thing we do, we start to roll the cases out. The cases, and Glenn's like flying a million miles an hour. Cases are flying everywhere. We get to the door. We just hear the bell. Here we're going, brother, I don't know what's going on, brother, but I can't get there. We hear him in the elevator shaft. And
my gosh.
So we finally get that straightened out and we got out of there. But then we came up with the nickname. I don't know, it was the first or second day. We came up with the nickname of Tiger Shark, purely based on one of my favorite movies of all time, Jaws. There is a scene where the kids already spoilers. I hope everybody's seen Jaws. The kids killed, right? They're on the hunt for they have a bounty out for the shark, and every Yahoo is out on his boat throwing dynamite in the ocean trying to find this shark, and they land a big one, and it's huge, and they got it strung up, and then everyone shows up, and all the locals are there, and then that's when the Richard Dreyfuss character is there, and he goes, "This is not your shark," and like, "What are you talking about?" And the Richard Dreyfuss says, this is a tiger shark, and one of the locals, I just thought it was a funny line. He goes, "A what?" And the way he says it and the look on his face was identical to this guy. I actually have the video. I'm going to see if I can put it up here. Hold on.
Oh, that's great.
Let me get the audio going here. And this scene reminded me of that. So let's do this. I don't know if that looks familiar to you.
Yeah. No, it looks good.
I think it's from a cold.
Can you hear it?
Deep throat,
yep.
Right? Yeah, but what kind? What kind of shark?
Tiger shark.
A what?
That's exactly it.
So that's what I think. I don't know. I think I came up with. I gave him the name Tiger Shark.
Steve named him Tiger Shark because we were just talking about that scene the whole time, and that guy, it just fit. Everything about it fit. And there was one more part. The worst thing, the worst part of the whole story, which I just remembered, was the goodbyes. Steve, you remember the goodbyes?
That was the best. The best in the sense that I avoided him. I did not even want to look at him. I was ready to fire him after the first hour.
Yeah,
so.
I know you are. So we're on the dock. The door goes down, and it's like mid-May, late May, and it's North Carolina, so it's hot as hell. This guy had been wearing the same clothes for 3 or 4 days, the same T-shirt. He was sweating profusely.
There's a lot of that in our industry.
And we're outside basically on this dock, and it was like he was wet. So we were trying, because all right, and everybody's saying goodbye, and he, I maybe like shakes Steve's hand or waves to him, shakes Glenn's and whatever, and then so I just reach out to give him a quick like handshake and not to, and he goes, "Oh no, I'm a hugger, brother." He goes, "Get in here,
get in here."
Wraps his big, and by the way, the T-shirt he's wearing it's sleeveless, like it's a T-shirt, but it's like I got his bare underarm, everything, and he just wrapped me and pulled me in like this. Like this. And dude, I was smart. My face was up against the most disgusting thing that ever happened to me in my life. I swear, I was like, I couldn't believe it happened. And the other, Steve and these guys were all just looking at me. They go, holy shit, dude. Like, it was so bad, dude. I had to change my shirt. I'm like, dude, I got to change. It was so bad. It was the worst.
Get that out of here. I'm a hugger, brother.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a hugger, brother. Best. Yeah, it was a long, wet, sloppy hug. It was a worst.
And wasn't he a musician? He was constantly trying to give you CDs of his band.
He did give me a CD of his band. Yeah, I think he played like, the jug or whatever.
He was a jug band.
A jug with a string on it or something. I don't know.
A washboard.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that's Tiger Shark.
That's Tiger Shark.
That's a good one.
We can make a full documentary about that, but it's a pretty good story.
Yeah. Oh my God. The worst.
He was a character.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's pick something else. What should we all watch and talk about? Is there anything outrageous?
Yeah, Betsy always knows some good ones.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I mean, documentary wise, like that was that. In Plain Sight, the one
Abducted in Plain Sight.
Oh my God.
Let's do it next Friday.
God.
Abducted in Plain Sight.
I think I have to rewatch it.
I'm going to rewatch it too, and I'm going to make notes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that one is endless. Did you see it, Matt?
Which one? What is it?
Abducted in Plain Sight.
Yeah, Abducted.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I got jerked off by the.
Yeah.
No, don't spoil it.
Spoiler alert.
All right. Are we going to do that next Friday?
Sure. Yeah, whatever. All good.
All right.
What am I doing?
Yeah, exactly. I'll be here.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. I'll give a little Abducted in Plain Sight shout
Steve,
out.
can you check your email and post that GIF I just sent you?
Oh, my email? Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, Steve's going to put up a GIF? All right. Is there a road story we should tell next week after we talk about Abducted in Plain Sight?
Nothing tops Tiger Shark. That is the best.
Yeah, it's one of the best ones.
So brutal.
Here you go.
Yeah,
is there any questions, Mike?
No, I'm looking. No, just comments.
Just comments.
Comments, all bad.
Comments by
It's just us.
and Jerry Shortle.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, yes. I was going to say along...
Yeah. That's definitely what it was. It was a hairy, sweaty...
Yeah.
I'm a hugger, brother.
So bad.
That was it. Yeah.
I still have night tremors. I got night terrors from that.
I think eventually people do need to hear your Richard Nixon story.
Ooh,
I think your Nixon story is
Who's mine?
Yeah.
No, okay, yeah, I got a good Nixon. I mean, it's short, but yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
How about this? Everyone come up with a short story from the road, and after we do Abducted in Plain Sight, we'll go into a short road story.
Cool.
Or not the road, just our profession.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week, and I'll probably talk to you guys sooner than that.
Cool. See ya.
Excellent. Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. So, Tiger Shark and Tiger King. You've got both stories now. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We had fun watching it. Please watch Abducted in Plain Sight. It's another Netflix documentary. I don't think there are many episodes, but it's definitely worth checking out. It is completely out there. It's another one of those, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. Like, it's just a total jaw dropper. So watch Abducted in Plain Sight. And we will see you on Monday. Oh, yes, I got to talk about Monday real quick. Monday, we're doing a mob special. My brother, John DePrima, is going to be here either through Zoom or Hangouts, or here live with us maybe. We're going to do a mob movie special. So we're going to talk about The Godfather. Might even talk about A Bronx Tale, which is one of my personal favorites. So please don't miss that. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday at 8 p.m. Good night.